Hello everyone, welcome to another lecture on electricity. In today's lecture, we are going to learn about electric power, power in terms of resistance and voltage, resistance and current, commercial unit of energy, the kilowatt hour, and also the effects of electric current. So where we are learning heating effect and Joule's law and applications of heating effect. Dear students, let's move on to the definition of electric power. Before going to that, in mechanics, we define power as the amount of work done with respect to time or time rate of doing work, that is known as mechanical power in that case. Similarly, in electricity, current flows through the conductor must do some amount of work. That work is known as electric work done. So, that electric work done with respect to time or per unit time is known as electric power. Electric work done per unit time is known as electric power. It can be written as electric power is equal to the ratio of work done by time taken. The ratio of work done and time. It is also given by P equal to W by T. So you can define this the power in another way. The rate of electrical energy consumed. We already again comparing to the mechanics. It is saying that the energy consumption with respect to time is also taken as power. Similarly, here also the electrical energy consumed or consumption of electric energy per unit time is also taken as electric power. Therefore, it can be also written as electric power is equal to energy consumed by time. Therefore, it can be written as P equal to E by T also. Electric power is a scalar physical quantity, as the mechanical power is also scalar one. Therefore, this is also a scalar physical quantity. SI unit of electric power is watt. Watt is the unit used for electric power. Now let's define 1 watt. If the rate of doing work is 1 joule, if the rate of doing work is 1 joule with respect to 1 second of time, then we say that there is 1 watt of power. We call 1 watt of power only when the rate of doing work is equal to 1 joule with respect to 1 second of time. Then we say that the power should be 1 watt. Therefore, 1 watt is equal to 1 joule divided by 1 second. Therefore, 1 joule per second. 1 watt is equal to 1 joule per second. The other units are also preferring for power. They are kilowatt and megawatt. Remember, watt seem to be a lower value. That's why you are measuring in kilo, mega, giga like that. So kilowatt and megawatt are the most used units of power in higher range. Dear students, let's find out the formula for electric power. Or you are writing electric power in terms of current and voltage. Okay. So we already know that from the definition, P is equal to W by T. Power is the ratio of work done and time. So call that as equation number 1. Now, the work done by the electric current I when it flows under the potential difference V for time t. See, the work done we are measuring for electric current I when it flows under the potential difference of V with respect to time t, that is given by W is equal to VIT. Now the question arises how W is equal to VIT. Okay, let's go back to the potential case. We already know that the potential is equal to W by Q. Means the potential is equal to work done by charge moved. That is known for us. And also the definition of current says that I is equal to Q by T. It is the ratio of charge and time. The current is equal to Q by T. Therefore, Q is equal to I into T. So substitute the value of Q in the above equation. Therefore, V is equal to W by IT. So V equal to W by IT, and hence by cross multiplication W is equal to VIT. The work done is equal to VIT. That equation is brought here and we named it as equation number 2. So put that equation 2 in 1 because we are having the term W. So substitute the value for W, and hence equation 1 can be written as P is equal to VIT divided by T. Therefore T, the time on the numerator and time on the denominator cancel each other. Therefore you left out with V and I. The product of V and I gives you the power. The product of V and I is taken as electric power. Therefore voltage and current gives the power in this case. And note that volt into ampere is also written as watt. As we already know that the power can be measured in watt. Therefore, watt is also written in the form V into A, volt into ampere. Let's move on to power in terms of resistance and current, power in terms of resistance and voltage. Let's study them one by one. So we already know that P, the power, is the product of current and voltage. From Ohm's law, V is equal to Ri. The potential difference is directly proportional to electric current, and when you are equalizing that, you are bringing R in the proportionality constant. Here we call it as electric resistance. Therefore, from Ohm's law, you can write it as V equal to R into I. So, after getting this value of V, so substitute that in equation 1. That is, power P is equal to Ri into I. Therefore, P equal to Ri square. It can be rewritten as P is equal to I square R. That means the power is the product of square of electric current and resistance. So power is I square into R. The product of I square into R gives you the electric power, that is in terms of R and I. Now let's move to the another part here. We are writing the power in terms of resistance and voltage. So from the value we already know that P is equal to V into I. From Ohm's law again, that is V equal to R into I. Therefore I can be written as V by R. So substitute the value of I in equation 1. You will get P is equal to V into V by R. Therefore P is equal to V square by R. This is very simple. These are the very simple relations. So P is equal to V square by R, which means power is the ratio of square of potential difference or voltage and the resistance respectively. Thus we got P is equal to I square by R. You written power in terms of current and resistance. Here you written P is equal to V square by R, means potential difference and resistance. Okay, so take care of these three formulae. That is P equal to V into I, P equal to I square into R, P is equal to V square by R. Let's move on to the point called commercial unit of energy. How the electricity companies like HESCOM or BESCOM or many other KPTCL branches, how they are measuring the current. Okay, how your bill is going to arrive, that is only with respect to the unit that is taken as commercial unit of energy. So for commercial unit of energy, we are using kilowatt hour, the concept of or the unit of kilowatt hour. So let's define what exactly the kilowatt hour. The amount of electric energy consumed when an electric appliance has the power of 1 kilowatt used for 1 hour of time, then we take it as kilowatt hour. If an electrical appliance is having the power of 1 kilowatt with respect to 1 hour of time, so for 1 hour of time 1 kilowatt power is utilized, the amount of electrical energy consumed in that case is known as kilowatt hour. I think you are under confusion how the kilowatt hour is unit of energy. Since you are talking of power and all other things, how the kilowatt is the unit of energy, you may think also you are also having the question, we written energy in terms of joule, therefore that kind of question is also arised, how we write the joule as kilowatt hour, or how kilowatt hour is replaced from joule. Okay, the answer is very simple. Let's move on to the point of this. This is very simple. 1 kilowatt hour is equal to 1 kilowatt into hour. You break that 1 kilowatt into 1 hour. See, 1 kilowatt hour, I am taking it as the energy. Remember, unit is the kilowatt hour, whereas the physical quantity is electric energy. So energy can be written as power into time. How? We already defined power is equal to energy by time. So just rewriting that, energy is equal to power into time. That can be done very easily. So 1 kilowatt means what? 1000 watt. 1 kilo means 1000, 10 to the power 3. So 10 to the power 3 into 1 hour. 1 hour means 3600 second. 3600 second constituting 1 hour. So just we are entering those values here. So 1000 watt into 3600 second, there to 36 lakh watt into second. So 1 kilowatt hour is equal to 36 lakh joule, or in other words, in terms of power of 10, that is equal to 3.6 into 10 to the power 6 joule. Okay, 1 kilowatt hour is equal to 3.6 into 10 to the power 6 joule. Remember, joule is a smaller quantity. That's why for measuring the higher things, we are always finding some solution that is in the form of kilowatt hour. So you can write kilowatt hour in terms of joule, and you can write joule in terms of kilowatt hour. See, we already written 1 kilowatt hour is equal to 3.6 into 10 to the power 6 joule. Therefore 1 joule can be written as 1 divided by 3.6 into 10 to the power minus 6 kilowatt hour, which is equal to 0.27 into 10 to the power minus 6 kilowatt hour. Means 0.27 into 10 to the power minus 6 kilowatt hour gives you 1 joule of energy. I hope you understood this part. Dear students, let's move on to another point, that is effects of electric current. So current has 3 different effects as such: heating effect, magnetic effect, and chemical effect. So current, whenever it is passed through a wire or a conductor, it produces three kinds of effects, as already know that: heating effect, magnetic effect, and chemical effect. So the reason for these effects is very simple, that is transformation of energy. So we already aware that how energy is transported from one form to another. Okay, that is the basic reason for the effects of electric current. So transformation of energy is the reason for the effects of electric current. So in this case we are learning the heating effect of electric current. So whenever you are passing the electric current through a wire, as such high resistance wires like nichrome, constantan or manganese, like that, produces heat. Okay, whenever passing a current through a wire, it produces heating, it produces heat. Therefore that effect is known as heating effect of electric current. So from the heating effect we are moving to the part called Joule's law. Okay, before stating that, we will formulate that and later we are going to state. Okay, fine. Now let I be the current flowing through a wire of resistance R in time t. Let's assume that a current I is passed through the wire which is having the resistance R in time t. Okay. Now from the definition of electric potential, that is V equal to W by Q. So we already aware of the situation where potential can be written as the ratio of V and Q. Okay. Therefore W can be, the work done can be written as Q into V, just as a cross multiplication. W is equal to Q into V. Let's pause a little for this work done. So we are finding the Q and V values from different things. Okay, different steps. We are bringing the Q value and V value in, and later we are substituting that. Okay, now from the definition of current, so for the finding of Q, we are going to the definition of current, that is I equal to Q by T. The ratio of charge with respect to time is current. Therefore Q is equal to I into T. Call this as equation 2. Again from Ohm's law, V equal to Ri. So once you got the value of Q and V, substitute back in equation 1. After substitution, you left out with W is equal to IT into Ri. Therefore work done is equal to I square TR, and rewriting it as W is equal to I square RT. Means the work done in this case is equal to the square of current, resistance and time respectively. We are having the W is equal to I square R into T, that is equal to equation number 4 now. Assuming electric work done is converted into heat. So the work done gives rise to the energy, we already know that. So that energy is transformed from one point to another, or the transformation is done. Therefore we replace heat produced from work done. From work done we are writing, or we are replacing it as heat produced. Therefore W is equal to H, and hence H is equal to I square RT. So H, the heat produced, is equal to I square R and T. Okay, so this equation 5 is known as Joule's law of heating. So from equation 5 we can state that heat produced in a wire, the production of heat takes place in a wire, is directly proportional to the square of the electric current and directly proportional to the resistance of the wire, and also the time for which current is passed. Heat produced is equal to square of current and resistance and time. Let's move on to the last point, that is applications of heating effect or Joule's law. Heating effect is utilized in working of the appliances like electric iron, electric ovens, kettle, toaster, room heaters, water heaters. These are all the materials are working due to the heating effect. Okay. Now this effect is also utilized in electric bulbs or lamps for production of light. For producing the light, electric in electric bulbs, heating effect is utilized. Similarly, electric fuse is also uses this effect. Soldering guns, cartridge heaters are heated due to the heating effect of electric current, and the materials as such thermistor, temperature sensitive resistor is taken as a thermistor. These materials are based on the effect of heat. Okay, heating effect of electricity plays important role in these materials. Dear students, hope you understood the entire points discussed today. Thank you for watching. Until then, bye bye.